Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm going to be reacting to the first episode of My Hero Academia. So yeah, couple weeks back I did a poll that you may have seen, you may have even voted in. I did a poll to vote for 2 anime that I'm going to react to, and the number 1 winner was My Hero Academia, so it's going to be taking over the Thursday time slot. Yeah, I'm excited about that. And for those of you curious, the second place winner, which will be taking over Sundays after Stranger Things, was Death Note. So it's going to be still a little while before I get to that, because I have to finish up Stranger Things, but yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, let's focus on My Hero Academia. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is the first anime I've reacted to, really. Although, I did do Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, but this is the first proper, not parody, I guess you could say. So, yeah, just so you guys know, this is the dub of My Hero Academia. The uncut dub, because I asked some people, and, you know, the episodes are they're the same length as the original broadcast dub, that was available, but mostly from what I've seen, the uncut just means like uncensored. If there's like blood, they'll show the blood and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll just watch the uncut version, should be fine. And yeah, this is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Let's stick to this episode. And that's just kind of it, because I haven't reacted to anything else. So yeah, no spoilers for any future episodes of My Hero Academia. This is my first time going through the show. And I guess that's pretty much that. Duh. Because this is the first episode of the season and the series, full length for this episode and this episode only is free. If you go down in the description of this video or to the pinned comment, if I remember to put one, I need to stop saying that because I generally don't. So if you go down to the description of this video, you can head over to my Patreon page and you will find full length. You will find the full length reaction completely unedited for free. And if you like that, first off, if you've never tried out full length before, there's no show footage in that version of the reaction, so you're going to have to provide your own show footage, or if you just kind of want to listen, you can kind of hear the audio in the background and stuff. And yeah, but if you like that, you can sign up for full length, which is currently $5. I've normally had it at $10, but I've decided to bump it down to $5 for your monetary pleasures, I guess. But yeah, if you like full length and you like early access, you can get both of those now for $5 a month on my Patreon. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Is there anything else I gotta say? The first episode of a series is always hard to do an intro, because it's like, well, what do I say? I'm not recapping the last episode. It's possible that there might be copyright troubles. You will be able to tell if there are or not, depending on is the actual reaction footage in this video. It's entirely possible. I have prepared for that not to be the case, that I will have. I've prepared for copyright problems should they arise. So yeah, if there are copyright problems, I guess I'm about to talk about it in a different video clip. But if not, let's get right into this reaction of My Hero Academia. Here we go.
I'll stop you myself.
Oh god, we're starting off serious.
You want to pretend to be
Whoa. Ah!
You don't stand a chance without a quirk, Deku.
A quirk? You mean a power? I know this is about superheroes, but goodness.
When I was 4 years old, I learned that some kids have more power than others.
Huh.
But that won't hold me back.
Well, that's good.
If anything, it pushes me to do better.
Well, good. Fuck them. Whoa! Izuku Midoriya. I like that. Tatooine Station.
One huge
That voice kind of sounds familiar. Ooh. Yep, Japanese. That's probably what I get for the uncut dub.
An extraordinary child was born who radiated light.
Yeah, I got
After
that.
Reports of people with superpowers popped up across the globe. No one
Whoa.
knew what was causing these quirks.
Quirks.
Before long,
Whoa. Ah!
You are the incarnation of evil.
Ah, jeez. It's like if Groot was a Pride Trooper. Whoa! Or we can bring in someone more giant.
Piece of cake for the world's next hottest hero. Hi there, everyone. I'm Mount Lady. And you don't have to worry about this bum anymore.
Okay. Huh.
Wait, she's getting all the credit?
Yeah.
I know you all want to go to the hero track.
Oh.
That's exactly why it's the only place worthy of me.
Jeez, man.
I aced all of the mock tests. I'm the only one at this school who stands a
Freaking,
chance
this
of
is
getting
so
in.
Sky High,
I'll
the
end up more
anime.
popular than All Might himself.
Yeah, Midoriya, don't you want to go to UA too?
Oh. You had to mention it?
it's just that I've wanted to be a hero since I was little. I may not have a quirk, but I
Yeah.
can still try my hardest, can I?
You don't have to have a
You'd
quirk.
never be able to
Bring
hang
in
with the
Batman,
best of the
Green
best.
Arrow.
You die in the exams! Most first-string heroes show potential early on. People look at them and just know they're destined for greatness.
I mean,
When I'm
and
the
what
only
have you
student
done to
from
be a
this
hero?
garbage junior high, just pray that you'll be born with a quirk in your next life. And take a swan dive off the roof of the building.
Jesus. Fucking high school.
Something wrong?
Oh, yeah. He's not ready. He needs to get something. A bow and arrow, a batarang, something.
Faster, let's go!
Jeez, I think you've added
Jesus.
10,000 views to this one yourself, Izuku.
Oh my gosh.
If you like it, I think it's scary.
I can't believe it.
Is this something you want your child to be watching?
Look, he's got more.
Oh, he saved 100 people. I getcha.
I'm gonna be a hero just like him!
Aww.
Sorry, kid, it's not gonna happen.
Oh, jeez.
But after viewing his x-rays, I don't think he's going to. You
Oh.
see, when superpowers first began appearing, there were many research studies conducted, and doctors discovered a link between the bones in a person's foot and their likelihood of developing a quirk.
Really?
People with powers have only one joint in their pinky toes. Their bodies have evolved into a more streamlined version of the human form.
That's very specific.
You can see here that's available. It's safe to say your son isn't going to develop.
Jesus Christ. That's very specific.
Do you think I can be a hero too?
So sad.
I'm sorry, Izuku.
Uh-oh. Goo Man. So much goo!
You'll make a perfect skin suit for me to hide in, kid.
Ah! Ew!
Taking over your...
Have no fear, you're safe.
Oh shit. It's him!
Now that I am here, that is. Texas!
What? Oh god! I'm sorry, what was that move called? Jeez!
I didn't mean to get you caught up in my justicing. Usually I pay more attention to keeping bystanders safe.
Man, this guy is 100% all the time.
He looks so much cooler in person!
He's not even in his suit.
Holy crap! I gotta get an autograph. I've got a pen around here somewhere. Please sign my notebook. He already did! Thank you so much.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I really treasure fast down for...
Thanks for your continued support!
Bye. Oh my gosh!
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
If I let go now, I'll die!
Oh,
That's a good point.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You person!
Shit.
Uh-oh.
I'm a normal kid without any powers.
I
Could
wonder.
I ever hope to be someone like you? Meeting All Might was a dream come true. A real miracle. Standing in front of me was the hero I'd idolized most of my life. I didn't realize it at the time, but that chance encounter would change the course of my future.
Did he say yes? Ah, it's over! Ah! Oh my gosh. I might... Maybe I'll watch the end credits on my own time. Okay, that was fun, man. It was short, though, I have to say. I'm not used to... Oh, that was only... Technically 22 minutes, wasn't it? Yeah. If you add in all the credits, it's 25, which I might watch that after the discussion. So, yeah. Let me just write something down real quick. Okay. That was an interesting episode. Really, man, that... So many things happened in that one. I love it. Okay. So, just initial impressions off the bat. First off, that was a very high energy anime. Like, even higher energy than some of the anime I'm used to. I really like that. Yeah, all of it, like, if we're just going on how it's, I guess how it was made, the production value and stuff like that. Really good, really solid. Music was all good. The voice acting was good. The only thing maybe was whoever was playing the young Midoriya. That may be the only one where it's like, okay, well, it does sound like a kid, a 4-year-old, I will say that, but it was a little high-pitched, and maybe that was just when he was screaming. Actually, when he was talking in the other scenes, he was fine, but it was that first scene where he's, like, yelling and stuff like that. Maybe that didn't quite work, but who cares? But everyone was pretty good. I am curious, though. Oh, there's no X-ray on this one. Okay, as a quick explanation, I generally watch almost all of my stuff on Amazon Prime. It's just easier. I think the Amazon Prime video player and stuff like that are very good. And normally, when I watch stuff on Amazon, there's what's called the Amazon X-ray, I guess, and or basically just a cast list. And I was wondering who voices the older Midoriya, because the first thing that pops into my mind as to who he sounds like is Kaba from Dragon Ball Super, and it's entirely possible that is Kaba, but I don't know. I'm tempted to look that up. Oh, thank God. Also, because I'm doing this on Amazon, I had to buy the first season on Amazon, and so I just now got the email being like, you purchased My Hero Academia Season 1 Uncut. And it's like, I'm glad that didn't pop up during the reaction. I hate when it does that. But anyway, yeah. All the voices were really, really solid, I have to say. And I'm curious as to if I can find some familiar voices, because the guy that played, what was his name? Bakugo? That's the part of his name that I caught. Yeah, Midoriya sounded familiar, Bakugo sounded familiar, All Might kind of sounded familiar too, so I'm going to have to look these guys up, maybe between episodes, and, oh god, excuse me, and, see, well, maybe, do they have a cast in the episode itself, maybe? I'm going to turn this down a bit. They may have the actual cast list. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. For everyone else... Okay, so Katsuki, that was the name of Bakugo. I didn't... All I saw was Bakugo, and I didn't catch Katsuki. Okay, so... Justin Briner? Okay, I'm trying to... I don't really recognize the rest of these names. Except for All Might. I recognize All Might. So, Katsuki. I'm going to work on learning all these names, obviously. Okay, All Might. I thought that I saw that it was Chris Sabat as All Might. That's pretty cool. Who I mainly know as... I've mainly seen Chris Sabat as the voice of Vegeta and Piccolo and various other characters in Dragon Ball. So having him in there as All Might is pretty good, I have to say. That was pretty cool. Okay, so Katsuki, Midoriya, Izuku. Okay, so well now I'm confused. Some people were calling him Midoriya, like Katsuki was, but then his mother called him Izuku. I don't know what to call him. Well, I think they also called him Deku at one point. It's like, what are their names? I need to figure out which one to say. So, Izuku Midoriya and Katsuki Bakugo and All Might. See, All Might I can get, and Mount Lady. Okay, let's actually get into my notes. The first thing I wrote down was the powers / quirk. I actually like that way of describing the powers like that. It's like, oh, everyone kind of has their own quirk. It makes sense. I like it. I didn't know too much about My Hero going into it. I knew it was something to do with superheroes and a school, My Hero Academia. So I didn't really know much about anything, really. So that's interesting, sort of the way they kind of go over the backstory of the show is that, there was this baby that was born and it was incredibly powerful, and pretty much like overnight, 80% of the population was able to achieve these sort of powers, these quirks, and not all of them are amazing quirks, like the mother. Did it have her name in there? It's just Izuku's mom. Great. But she said it's like, okay, because that doctor was saying like, okay, you have your 4th generation powered, right? He said something like that, and she was like, yes, I can bring small objects closer to me, and my husband can light things on fire, and it's like, I guess that's handy and stuff like that, but it's like, okay, they weren't meant to be heroes, but that was interesting, because that means, saying like, okay, you're a 4th generation powered person, basically. It means that, this has been around for a long time. It's not just that, it's not like, oh, this has happened recently or something. It's like, no, this has happened within at least the last 4 generations. So that's definitely interesting. And then, calling this the Age of Heroes. I did like that. And showing just this constant, so many different heroes. And again, not all of them want to be heroes. Like Izuku's family was just like, some of them. Oh God, there's something in my eye. Sorry. All right. Like Izuku's family, they're just normal people. Well, normal people. Obviously they have their quirks, but they don't really do anything with it. They're just kind of your average family. They just have some quirks, and even that doctor, he's not a superhero. He's just being a doctor, basically, a doctor for superheroes. So yeah, they didn't say what power he had or if he had powers or not, but I don't know. I would assume. So yeah, that's interesting that it's a very specific 80% of the population of the Earth are powered, and the other 20% aren't. Excuse me. So that was interesting. And, the Age of Heroes, we had all those heroes coming in to stop the villain. Not Death Arms. Death Arms was one of the heroes. Trying to remember all these names. But yeah. So that was interesting. A good little way to sort of, give something fun that's happening on screen while also being like, hey, here's some exposition about where we are in this world that we've created. So yeah, I did like that. And, seeing all the heroes, we had Death Arms who came in and helped the thing. We had the one guy who was making like water things to keep the people back. And then we had, it would be Kamui Woods. Kamui, Japanese. But yeah, he was, trying to take out this guy too, and using his friggin' powers of Groot in order to do that, and then friggin' Mount Lady just came in and just kicked that guy to the curb. And what did she say? She's the next hottest superhero? Does that mean like, these superheroes are, really hot? Or does that mean it's like, this superhero is really, hot? Which that's what most of those photographers were thinking with, they were all saying money shots, weren't they? Should I have subtitles on, maybe? Would anyone care if I put on subtitles during this? I don't know. I'm gonna turn subtitles on. Money shot. Piece of cake for the world's next hottest hero. I mean, it could easily be that. It's like, the next hottest hero, like, she's gonna be the next big hero, like All Might. But it's also, you can say, she's also incredibly hot. So, yeah. Anyway. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that entire pretty much opening scene was interesting with sorry, drop my pen. Just with, watching all these superheroes, do their thing. And not all of them are trying to take on the bad guy. Death Arms was just, holding the thing up and putting it down so that he could save the people. And Water Arm guy was, keeping them at a safe distance. But then you get other heroes that are kind of competing with each other, which is interesting. The next thing I wrote down was the Hero School, which is an interesting concept, basically applying to get into this Hero School, which makes sense because, which is very, sky high and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, not everyone can get in, and even if you do get in, there's the chance that you're just going to be stuck as a sidekick to some, third-rate superhero. So yeah, that's interesting. And, we have the one guy who's got his powers, and they're pretty obviously good. And at the same time, it's like, okay, he's kind of the jerk. He's very cocky about it and stuff like that. And that was Katsuki Bakugo. So that was interesting. And so yeah, he was really the only one. Well, he thinks that he is the only one that's gonna get in because he's just that good, and that's not his ego. He just thinks he knows he's that good. So yeah, that was kind of interesting with that. And then it seems like the only other person, were they implying that the only other person who wanted to go to Hero School was Midoriya? Which that's what they called them during the scene, so that's what I'm going to call him for now. Yeah, it seemed like Midoriya was the only other one, or at least like the teacher was just pointing that out. It's like, oh yeah, you also wanted to go, didn't you? And then everyone was just like, he has no powers. Why would he go to Hero School? Which does create this interesting thing. Kind of creates, a way for Midoriya to prove himself if he can actually be a hero without powers. Because even in comic books, there's plenty of superheroes that don't have superpowers, but are still incredible superheroes. Batman, the Green Arrow, Iron Man, technically. Well, yeah, definitely Iron Man. You know, his suit is not his powers and stuff like that. But so there's a number of characters where it's like, okay, they don't have superpowers, but they're still superheroes in their own right. So that definitely like gives some proving ground for Midoriya, and I'm sure we're gearing up for some sort of confrontation, maybe with Bakugo. I don't know, or at least just a chance to show him up for being such a fucking douchebag. Alright. Next thing I wrote down was All Might. That's interesting that he's kind of... All Might is kind of the most... I guess the most loved hero. Yeah, that was interesting, and, it was kind of interesting, the way they framed the video that Midoriya always watched as a kid was, the video he always watched as a kid was, this horrible tragedy that was happening, but it was actually all these people that were being saved by All Might. And, he's always coming out with a smile on his face. And he's a very classic hero. It's like, don't worry, citizens, I am here to save you. So, yeah, that was pretty cool, watching that. We got a bit more of the anatomy, I guess, of being a superhero, which is interesting, is that you can tell if someone has powers because they only have one joint in their pinky toe. That's very specific. Like, very, very specific. Because when they just showed it, it's like, yes, and I was looking at his x-rays, and I was just like, you just have a foot! Like, what can you get from just a foot? But then they explain the whole thing, and it's very weird and very specific, but it's interesting, it's unique, I like it. So, yeah, that was interesting. It's like, oh, well, he has two joints in his pinky toe, therefore he won't have a quirk. It's like, well, alright, if you insist. Then we kind of got Midoriya succumbing to the goo man, the sludge man, which was, that was weird, but it was interesting. And that was right after those touching scenes where like they're all crying that Midoriya won't be able to live up to his dreams and stuff like that. And then he met All Might, which is pretty cool. All Might, who... Okay. Let me go back. I gotta go back to that fucking... What was that name? I like just casual All Might. He was just out for a stroll. Texas Smash. What kind of move is that? That was the last thing I expected to hear, was Texas Smash. Yeah, that's interesting. I actually kind of like that. Because it comes out of nowhere, because like, here's this super epic, anime fight shot, and he goes and he attacks, and it's like, and the animation's going nuts, and it's crazy, and then he goes, Texas Smash! I turned into Captain Ginyu for a second. Change now! I'm available for voice work? No, I'm not. Okay. That joke didn't work last time. Whatever. So, so yeah, the Texas Smash. That definitely caught me off guard in a Japanese show, which I assume takes place in Japan, but I don't know. I was just fixing my bangs. So yeah, I figured this took place in Japan, and then here comes this dude with his Texas Smash. But yeah, that was interesting. It caught me off guard. And then we get, the interaction between Midoriya and All Might. I like that, I like that he already signed the book. Like, you know, Midoriya's going for his book, and he's like, oh, please sign it, and he opens it up, and it already says All Might. It's like, that's funny. I really did enjoy that. And then Midoriya is sticking on to him, like, grabbing on, because he still has questions and stuff like that. And I like, too, because at first, you know, All Might is just like, what? No, you can't do this, get off. And then it's like, no, if I let go, I'll die. And he's like, oh, I guess you're right. I'll land. I don't know. It's just the way the way he delivered that was just kind of funny. And then, you know, he was actually leaving, but Midoriya was able to get out that question: can he still be a superhero without powers? Which is interesting. And they didn't even show what All Might said, but I would wager to guess yes, you can, because, you know, we saw a little bit of blood coming out of All Might's mouth, and, you know, he was like, oh shit. And so now I'm wondering, does he actually have powers? Like, I already have like 20 theories off of that, off the fact that a little blood came out after he jumped. So yeah, that's interesting. It's like, is he actually a superhero, or is he just a hero who somehow artificially gave himself powers? So yeah, that would be my question, but we'll have to see. But that's basically all I wrote. Fun first episode, I really enjoyed it. And next time, we will watch the next episode. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Can't wait for the next episode. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of My Hero Academia reactions, you can click on the playlist. You can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media. Links below in the description. See you guys later.